Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Aaron, with another anime first impressions. This is one that has been talked about quite a few already, or quite a bit, and it was quite awaited for a few people. And I bought the manga. I started reading it, so I knew kind of what was going on. And yeah, anyways, the one that I'm talking about is We Never Learned Bokuben. I think Bokuben is part of the anime title, but not the manga title, so I could be wrong. Anyways, guys, if you have not done so, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button if you guys want to know when I go live and when I upload videos. Secondly, guys, if you want to see more first impressions for the season, I have a bunch of them, yes, a bunch of them in my channel, so you can check those out. And then lastly, guys, please, 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 be aware that there is a spoiler alert on this episode. There is, I guess, one type of spoil to it, but it's not one of those that people die or she ended up being a boy or a girl, and I ruined the whole first episode. So, but I still want to give you a caution just in case. So, genre-wise, I'm gonna put this one a comedy, high school life, romance, harem. For sure, it doesn't give you the vibe, at least from the first episode. But if you see the ending, the outro, it does. It does give you that vibe. And by that, I don't mean, well, yeah, I guess I do mean the girls end up liking him and he doesn't end up picking anyone, because most anime that is like that, the guy never picks one. So anyways, not all. There is some that he does, but for the most part, they don't. The story itself follows, the protagonist is a guy who essentially he is, at least to his eyes, an average kid, and he really wants to get the VIP recommendation from his school, which means that if he's recommended to a school that he wants to go to, he automatically goes to that school and doesn't have to take a test to get into the school. So he's called into the office one day, and the principal tells him that there's one condition for him to get this VIP recommendation, and that is helping these two girls who, by the way, are genius, get into the school that they wanted to get in. Now, at sight, you think, well, they're genius. Why can't they just get into their school that they want to get in? The problem is, and I've actually had a lot of friends like this. When you're really good at one subject and you love one subject, you tend to be really bad at other subjects. For example, I used to be really good at math and science, but English arts, reading, writing, horrible in. Now, I eventually got better, but in my middle school or high school years, I used to be horrible in reading and writing. So this kind of the same way. The one girl is great in science and math, genius in those two areas, but when it comes to logic, when it comes to reading, to Japanese, English, I mean, all those language arts, she's not really good at. And the opposite happens to the other girl. She's really good at English, she's really good at Japanese, she's really good at figuring out the feelings of people in stories. But when it comes to the left side brain, the math, the 1 + 1 is 2, and that's never going to change, and there's all these formulas, she's bad at. So he's left to tutor these two girls. He, at one point, tries to just give them homework and have them study by their own, and then come back and take a test. The same test, might I say. So they keep getting lower scores. First they get a 2, then they get a 3, then they get a 4, then they get a 5. And he's like, well, at least they're increasing by 1 point each day, and then they go back to a 2. So he is basically, at first, he's basically stuck in I don't know what to do, and eventually he figures out where they're struggling in and why they're struggling in their area, and that's because the way they think, they don't think, I guess, the right way for the subjects they want to be in. Eventually, he does decide to put more effort into it, and he fills in a whole notebook for each of them of notes to correcting their notes, and he gives it to them. Then at the end of the episode, there is kind of a sweet moment with each girl separately. One, the one that's great in English arts, she really misses her mother, and she wants to be an astronomist because she believes that her mother is in the stars. So very sweet moment. And then the other girl, she works hard in her family business, and he finds her in a park by herself, and she's playing with her game and she loses the game because again, there's no. She's very left-sided brain. There's no um, thinking of what the other person might be thinking, so she loses the game pretty fast. And anyways, she shares that she wants to really be in psychology to him. So they both kind of want to be the opposite of what they're good at, and that's why he's tutoring them. They've also had a lot of tutors that just left them. So reminded me a lot of the quintessential quintuplets anime, just because he have this tutor. He's not the smartest dude actually. He's smart because he studied, but he's not smarter than in their subjects because they're genius. But that reminds me of that, as well as how the girls are going to end up liking him. And you can already see from the first episode they're going to like him. So it's very similar to that. Yeah, obviously there's some differences. The guy does have a sister, a younger sister, maybe a year or two younger, that has a brother complex. He doesn't have a dad. His dad died, but he has a mother. And then he also has two little baby sisters. And he also lives in a very rundown, very bad looking house. So a lot of similarities to the quintessential quintuplets. And, some people might be turned off because of it. I don't think it's that bad of an anime. The first episode was pretty good. Art style, awesome. Music, the outro was good. I'm not really fan of the first of the opening, but they're still pretty good. So overall, they did a good job on it. I'm not the biggest harem type of guy. I don't watch a lot of them just for fun. I watch them sometimes for the sake of having reviews on them. Um, Quintessential quintuplets was one that was different because you at least expected one to end up with him. And there's been other anime that has been done like that, and I think those are the ones I enjoy because it's not so much of a harem, it's more of they're competing for the person's heart, and someone ends up winning. Uh, and I hope this one ends up like that. It probably won't, and because it probably won't, I'm gonna give this one a meh score of a 6 out of 10. Again, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna enjoy this one and they're gonna love it. Probably a lot of the girls and the waifus that people call are gonna come out of this anime. But as of right now, 6 out of 10. I might end up watching it to the end if Funimation decides to dub it. I know they have it subbed, but if they do dub it, I might watch it all the way to the end. I'm not really sure yet. So out of 10, 6. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you seen this one? I'm pretty sure you have. If you haven't, go check it out in Crunchyroll, Funimation, or Hulu. Yeah, it's everywhere. So thank you guys so much for your love and support. And like always, don't be strangers.